The new Goatman is coming in the next update. Alright guys, I'm back. First of all, sorry for not posting anything these past days. I got sick and just didn't have the energy to record or edit. But now I'm feeling way better, and I'm ready to get back into not only Dead Rails content, but of course, 99 Nights in the Forest content as well. And honestly, this is the perfect time, because we are about to get what I think might be the most game-changing update yet. And before we continue, just a quick reminder to like and subscribe to my channel, because it motivates me to upload even more videos just for you guys. So let's get straight into it. This is the Volcanic Update Part 2, and it's not just another small addition. It's adding brand new enemies, new mechanics, new items, and even changes to how we survive in the late nights. And of course, the big headline is the introduction of the Goatman, a boss-level enemy that's going to completely change how you play this game. Let's start with what makes the Goatman so different. Up until now, the main threats have been the deer and the owl. Both of those are scary, but they're manageable once you know their patterns. If you stay still against the owl, you're fine. If you learn how to keep distance from the deer, you can survive. But the Goatman breaks that entire structure. This enemy is aggressive, fast, and it doesn't give you those same safe zones. You can't just freeze and wait for it to pass by, then it will chase you down. The developers even described it as having uncontrollable rage, and that's exactly what it feels like the game has been missing. An enemy that keeps you moving. From a gameplay perspective, that means late nights are going to be way more dangerous, especially in the volcanic biome. That area was already tough with the heat damage, lava hazards, and cultists roaming around. Now imagine all of that, but with the Goatman thrown into the mix, forcing you to stay alert at every second. It's not just another enemy, it's a whole new layer of pressure. Now let's talk mechanics. From what's been teased, the Goatman has extremely high speed, faster than the owl. That means kiting or outrunning it might not even be possible. It can also perform big leaps, which suggests it's designed to close gaps quickly. Its damage output is reportedly about twice that of the hungry deer, which is already one of the hardest hitters in the game. So if you get caught by it, you're going to be in serious trouble. What I like about this is that it forces you to rethink your strategies. With the deer, you could plan builds around space and timing. With the owl, you could prepare by avoiding movement. But with the Goatman, it looks like the strategy is going to be less about figuring out its one weakness, and more about staying constantly prepared. Stocking healing items, managing stamina, and building defenses that don't just keep enemies out, but give you escape routes when things go bad. Now, while the Goatman is the centerpiece, this update is also bringing a ton of other features that affect the overall structure of the game. One of the biggest rumored mechanics is volcanic eruptions. Supposedly starting after Night 16, every 20 nights the volcano can erupt. When that happens, lava floods parts of the map, shrinking the territory you can safely use. On top of that, the eruption adds constant heat damage if you're not properly protected. That changes the survival loop in a big way. Instead of just building up and defending your camp, you're now forced to adapt to environmental hazards on a timer. To survive these eruptions, players will need new types of protection. Obsidian walls have been mentioned as one way to hold back lava, and new craftable gear like a heat cloak and lava boots could be necessary to reduce fire and heat damage. This is smart design because it keeps the volcanic biome from feeling like just another area, and instead makes it its own unique challenge that only gets harder the longer you last. And here's where it gets really interesting for gameplay variety. There are strong hints about new weapons and an NPC blacksmith. The blacksmith would appear randomly near campfires and allow you to craft stronger gear, maybe even some of the new volcanic weapons. Weapons like a molten axe, a lava sniper, and dual katanas have been referenced. If these make it into the update, that completely changes how players approach combat. Instead of relying on the same few tools we've always had, we'll suddenly have late-game weapons that actually scale with the difficulty. And these weapons tie directly into another rumored mechanic concept: magma chests. These chests supposedly spawn near lava lakes, but they require a lava key to open. The key might have to be crafted with the blacksmith or found as rare loot. If that's true, it creates a new high-risk, high-reward loop in the volcanic biome. You push deeper, survive longer, and get the key, and in return you unlock some of the best weapons in the game. That's the kind of reward structure that makes players want to keep pushing past Night 30, Night 40, and beyond. Let's also not forget that the volcanic biome already introduced the ammo furnace, which was one of the most useful additions for long runs. If Part 2 is adding even more crafting systems on top of that, then the biome basically becomes the late-game hub. The place where you either adapt and gear up, or you die trying. And it's not just new bosses and crafting. There are also smaller enemies being hinted at for this biome. Fire imps are one example. Small, fast creatures that attack in groups near lava lakes. They don't sound too strong individually, but if they swarm you at the same time the Goatman is around, that's going to be brutal. Then there's the lava golem, a mini-boss that throws molten rocks and drops volcanic stone. That stone might be required to summon another boss, the volcanic titan. And if that's true, then Part 2 isn't just adding the Goatman, but an entirely new boss chain where you fight the golem, get the materials, summon the titan, and then take on what could be the biggest boss in the game so far. If that happens, then this update isn't just about making the volcanic biome scarier. It's about making it the centerpiece of endgame content. You're not just surviving waves of random enemies anymore. You're chasing bosses, farming materials, upgrading weapons, and managing an environment that's constantly trying to kill you. It's a full late-game loop that gives 99 Nights more replay value than ever. So let's break it down into what's confirmed versus what's still in the leak/rumor territory. Confirmed. The Goatman is coming, it's aggressive, it's tied to the volcanic biome, and it's going to be the hardest enemy so far. Rumors from the Discord. Volcanic eruptions as a timed mechanic, a blacksmith NPC, magma chests with lava keys, new volcanic weapons, smaller enemies like fire imps, and a boss chain leading to a volcanic titan. All of that sounds amazing, but we won't know until the update officially drops. This is just a concepts I've seen from the Discord suggestion tab. What we can say for sure, though, is that even if half of these rumored features are real, this is still one of the most impactful updates in the game's history. It changes the way we build, the way we fight, and the way we survive long term. And it finally gives us a boss that doesn't play by the same rules as the deer and the owl. For me personally, that's the most exciting part, because after you've played long enough, you kind of figure out how to handle everything. But the Goatman is designed to break those habits. It forces you to stay on your toes, it forces you to adapt. And that's exactly the kind of fresh challenge that keeps a survival game alive. So yeah, that's what we know and what we're expecting from Volcanic Update Part 2. I'm going to be diving into this as soon as it goes live and testing everything myself. From how the Goatman spawns, to whether the eruptions actually happen, to whether the blacksmith and new weapons are really in the game. And I'll be making videos on all of it. Thanks again for being patient while I was sick. I really appreciate everyone who stuck around. Now that I'm back, I'll be covering 99 Nights in the Forest more regularly, especially with how crazy this new update looks. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to stay up to date and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the Goatman is going to be killable? Do you want those new volcanic weapons to be real? And are you ready for eruptions to shake up the whole map? Let's talk about it. That's all from me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.